up? Yeah. No real big elaborate plan here. Certainly no makeup. No costume. Do have some flowers in bloom in lieu of a costume. I brought these. They really have nothing to do with my poem, but before they die, I just wanted to show them off because I had this one in particular. Like, look how freaking special that flower is. Dang. I mean, I wish I could. I should just be wearing this. I wish I could be. This is an indication of what a crap week I had. I had a really crap week. So much so that flowers were given to me. Just for the crappiness of it all. It's just so pretty. Look at the fruit hanging from it. It's just like on multiple levels. Even this little friend, which I don't know if it will bloom or not. It's like a little alien eyeball. Don't know if it will come awake or come alive at all, but it's a nice little alien eyeball. A little peacock feather in there. Yeah, so really totally unrelated to anything other than just wanted to show them off before they do what plants do. And I'm in front of my new shower curtain. Woohoo! Getting pretty fancy up in here. Yeah, got this baby for free at that crazy garage sale I always talk about. And no big deal. Just free 99. Propping this up a little bit effective, slightly effective, minimally effective. Yep. Let's just hide me. That's fine. I'm cool with that. Propping it up on what, you ask? My squatty potty. That's what I'm propping it up on. This is all very official, very technical, very professional stuff going on here. So, fresh out of rehearsal, very tired, excessively so, actually. I have no idea how I did a job, for almost a decade, where I was often up at 4:30 in the morning. That's right, 4:30 in the morning. I don't know how I ever did that. I mean, excessively. I did that excessively and successfully. And don't ask me how, because I don't know. My lips are dry. I don't feel like I want to try, but I'm going to try anyway. Peek-boo. So many beauties in this bouquet. Bouquet. Yeah, it's just swimbling towards my face. If you've been keeping pace, you know what a swimble is now. If you've done your Teal's the Real Deal homework, then you've learned that I'm being swimbled currently as I speak. So, even this guy I like. It's quite dangly, but I like it. So from within this kabuki, I will deliver to you poetry. And this is a little awkward. I guess I can just like sit up a little bit. Oh, be careful. Very delicate balance going on here. Now look at that one. Now that is a wow. Now that is a special one. Woo! What? Wow. That's a cool fleur or plant-based life form, whatever it is. I feel like I can't show that one without this one Now it's my alien eyeball. Yeah, we'll just kind of, there we go. Totally in it now. So, this one sounds kind of a bit like swipe poetry, but it's not. It's actually more like unfiltering myself association. I am tired. I'm telling you, very few details have been given, shall probably remain that way. But it's been a rough week. It's been a rough one. So I'm very sleepy. Just haven't really been sleeping. That sort of like, oh no, I'm fine. I'll just go ahead and lay here and then I'll just ruminate on every single thought that I could ever have and everything that's wrong and has ever been wrong, and I'll just unravel it into a giant pile. Meanwhile, no sleep is had. It's bad. So, right, this form of poetry is kind of like, I was trying to think of an analogy for it at rehearsal tonight, and it's sort of like the words tell me how to feel, and I deal with it, rather than me informing the words what they are saying about my feelings. Does that make any sense? Are you with me? Am I reeling you into the discovery of this new form at all? Yeah, I'm just always kind of trying to make up my own way, thing, play, what to say about poetry. And yeah, I like this format. It's sort of like I'm trying to not think. Usually I'm like, and what comes next? And let me research this word. And what is the origin of this? And maybe this connects to this. And what am I really saying here? And I go really in depth with it to the point where I drive myself nuts. But this I started months and months ago and then finished it this evening. And it's more just like meditative word weaving, rambling, believing that the poem will reach its end when it chooses to be finished, and just giving yourself over to it. Something like that. Some Zen form of not trying to make it mean something, but letting it, as it flows out of you, tell you what it means. So there's your behind the scenes look. Right. So, excuse me, madam. Ooh. I think I might be having some sort of a slight allergic reaction to whatever is happening here. But I'm going to go ahead and let it happen because it's so beautiful. But it is, there is a definitive itch upon my eyeballs that wasn't there before I decided to rubbeth my nose upon this bouquet and place it upon my squatty potty and sit on the bathroom floor with it and nuzzle it. Oh, that feels good. Oh, that's a good swimble there. That's a good swimble right there. Okay, I'm having a lot of neck problems. Okay, so let's just rabble, shall we? Unravel the rabble. So this is just sort of words that asked me to write them instead of me demanding that the words do as I say. If that helps you understand this form of poetry. So here it is. It's called Modern Day Me Responds Sensibly. Through many hooped instructions, fluctuating deductions, deduce the use of abstract obstructions. Suctions suck your functions. We'll do brunch when we're all through ego strolling. Takes a toll, and they don't notice, 'cause they're still scrolling. What are you holding all wrapped up in your cyber self? Anachronism prism. Euphemisms and degrading dysphemisms. Competition bitten retrievalists. Upheaval suppliers. Really skillful fucking liars. Suffering for your measly pourboire. Tight wire toe curling. Quagmires converging. Disconcerting and colossal. Awful sorry. The Opposites Committee. Pity the Soul Squad. What pod? What an increase in those friends dependent on fair weather. Oh, Tether Tribe, how easily you go by the wayside. Deriving little truth. Scoot towards a truce. Whatever they choose to quantify. Fly-by calibrators, beaten narrowly by the anticipators. Greater good beset. Get thoroughly equipped. Pretty cryptic. Musta slipped it. Come with tough fit. Pulpit kids. The grids on grids. Slowly slid. What it is. Hearken it. Subterranean grit. Collected tubes of spit. Hissy fit. Little bit. Scribbled shit. Script flip. Underlit. Clit envy. Spendy ways to theorize. Sanctify. Sacrificial high. Ask why. Good. Long cry. Two-ply explanations. Low expectations. Elevated revelations. Excessive citations. Lackluster libations. Verisimilitudinous litigations. Minimization in a hurry. Augury debauchery. Mid-30s scurry. Importune fury. Formulate the jury. Selectively worry. Assure me before re-entry to Earth's atmosphere. I swear I've been here before. Imploring patiently for humanity to be restored, just as I will scores of times more. Valor evaporator. Gaff generator. Conflict proliferator. Recurring alligator nightmares. No soul spared, as if the news stations care. We're playing rigged games at the county fair, while the stability of humanity tears irreparably. Incommensurably. Talking is hard. Incommensurably shifting, drifting from a guileless disguise. We may have to improvise. Yup. Little alien eyes. You heard it here, guys. We may have to improvise. So, I don't know. Decipher it. Rummage through it. Put a seed in the ground and see what grew of it. Just do it. I don't know. I could analyze all of it and tell you what the fuck is up with all that. But I will say, part that I wrote tonight, recurring alligator nightmares. And there was a cool few words in there. I'm a little tired to go through maybe all of the new ones I got or even remember. But yeah, like incommensurably was like unable to measure against another measurement kind of dealy bob. What's that word I always really like? You may have heard a lot in there about the jury and kind of citations, and that is meaningful, but not in a way that I can go into. What was that word that I like so much that I like literally can't find it? Pulpit. Even though I don't like necessarily the or I guess you can like the concept of a pulpit. It's just a word I like to say. Euphemisms is a word I really like to say. Quagmire. Quagmire is a situation. It's a bad situation. It's a continually occurring bad situation. A pickle, a conundrum, a above humdrum feeling of fuck this. And I like saying it. Quagmire. I know it's like a character. I don't watch that show, but I like the word. Awful sorry is just a phrase I like to say a lot and weave into things, because it just kind of feels like this way that we all have to lead with one another in this energy of awful sorry. Well, I'm Jim, awful sorry. Well, awful sorry about awful sorry. Awful sorry. And I'm over it. I don't want to do that anymore. Right. Pity the Soul Squad. I liked that too. Valor Evaporator. That's a rough one. That's some real shit. But recurring alligator nightmares is an easy association for me to just flow out because it's something I think about a lot, and they've kind of subsided. Perhaps I've mentioned this before. I don't believe so. But I have had recurring nightmares since I was a child. And I really hate these. Did I mention it in the nightmare dream? No, I can't remember. I don't think I did. But that nightmare dream had like a lot of nightmarish shit, and like the pigs eating people and the horses eating people and whatever. I know, my brain sometimes, right? I feel the same way. But this land that I visit in this recurring nightmare is the land of the dead, specifically eaten by alligators. And it's always been this huge fear of mine. There's like those weird memories that you're like, how do I remember so much about that weird memory? I remember we were at my mom's friend's house, and I was the only young person there, and everyone else was, 10 to 20 years older than me. And people were doing their various, like, having drinks and talking about whatever. And then I was with these couple dudes who were older than me and looking through these like nature magazines, and they read out loud to me this whole article about this dude being almost eaten alive. Like, he had significant injuries that required multiple surgeries, and just this very graphic article. And my fear was already there. Like, I had already had this alligator nightmare. So when they descriptively and loudly, and I remember the house and everything. I remember the sliding glass doors. I remember sitting by this plant, and the plant moved a little in the breeze, and I was like, alligator! But yeah, I have this terrible dream, and I'm there, and specifically we're at this like banquet table with all of these lovely, luscious dainties and feasty pies, and I'm like, something's fucked up here. And I kind of start to notice everyone has these like chunks out of themselves missing, and I'm like, well, that's not cool, I'm not really enjoying this party. Please, can I leave? And like these long tables, and everyone's just very decadently indulging, and like the food is like falling out of them because I have like pieces missing. It's very, very gruesome. But just kind of goes to elaborate anxieties I've always had. But yeah, it's very stressful, and I begin to kind of piece together like, oh shit, everyone here, and there's alligators sliming across the table of these indulgent foods and crawling on people's laps and sort of nuzzling people, and they just seem quite comfortable with it. And I'm like, guys, there's fucking alligators everywhere. And they're like, oh, don't have a dipping my beverages, and they're all very like noisy and kind of annoying, like people can be. And then I find myself in the ladies' restroom, and everyone's blah, 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 dabbing themselves with makeup, and I start to kind of panic, and I'm like, there's fucking alligators coming out of the toilet, and there's alligators coming out of the sinks, and they're just kind of like on everything. And I'm like, do you know that you're like, you got chunks taken out of you? And they're like, honey, you're here for a reason too. And I like look down, and they're like, oh, big piece of missing. It's a very scary dream that I've had many times since childhood. One of many reasons I've never been to Florida. Just being honest. Yeah, so there it was. That is the thing that I wrote, and it's kind of dope, little bit. I don't know. Whatever you think. Really skillful fucking liars. I like that part. Because, yeah, it was one of those poems where I wasn't thinking about the words. I just let the words happen. So, there you go. Tap in. Let the words happen. And I did. And I will again. Tomorrow. Camera 1. Camera 2. Camera 1. Camera 2. I will bring to you more poetry. Stay tuned.